Disturbing true stories untold.
You get used to a certain level of weird on the night shift. Drunks, lost tourists, people having the worst night of their lives. But some things are more than just weird. They're wrong. Deeply, fundamentally wrong. This one happened on a night the sky had just cracked open. The rain was coming down in sheets, so thick it felt like the world ended 10 feet from the gas station windows. I was watching the water pour off the awning when I saw her. At first she was just a flicker of movement in the storm, a flash of white against the black curtain of the night. Then she was sprinting, a desperate, frantic dash out of the darkness and into the weak circle of light around the pumps. She was wearing what looked like a thin, white nightgown, completely soaked and clinging to her. No shoes. She slammed against the glass door of the store, her hands slapping against it, her face a mask of pure terror. I'd already locked the door's company policy after 11 p.m., so I just stared, frozen. "Please!" Her voice was a muffled scream through the glass. "Please, you have to let me in. He's right behind me." I moved closer to the door, my heart pounding in my chest. "Who's behind you? I'll call the police." Her eyes were wide, wild with a terror I'd never seen before and hoped to never see again. No police. You don't understand. It's not him anymore." She pressed her face against the glass, her breath fogging it up. "It's wearing my husband's skin," she sobbed. "It's wearing his skin, but it's not him." A cold dread, colder than the rain outside, washed over me. What was I supposed to do? Was she on drugs? Having some kind of psychotic break? She started describing it, her words tumbling out in a panicked rush. She said it was too tall now, that his arms were too long, and that when he moved, his joints bent the wrong way. She said she woke up and he was just standing over their bed, watching her, his head tilted at an impossible angle. While she was talking, a figure emerged from the rain and stopped at the edge of the light, right by pump 3. It looked like a man. Flannel shirt, jeans, just like 1,000 other customers. But something was off. He was standing perfectly still, head down. Then slowly, he lifted his head. I couldn't make out his features through the storm, but I saw the motion. It was stiff, unnatural. The woman at the door let out a choked gasp and went silent. The figure took a single lurching step forward. That's when she broke. She let out a final soul-shattering scream, turned from the door, and ran. Back into the sheet-like rain, back into the suffocating darkness she'd just come from. The figure at the pump didn't chase her. It just turned its head, tracking her, and then began to follow at a calm, unhurried, and utterly chilling pace. It disappeared into the blackness right after her. I stood there for what felt like an hour with my hand on the phone, but I never called the cops. What would I have told them? I never saw her or it again. After that night, I started paying more attention to the regulars. You think you know them, the people you see every day, but you really don't. There was this one guy, Martin, who was a fixture of my shift. Every single night, around 2 a.m., his old pickup would roll in. He'd come in, give a quiet nod, grab a black coffee and the morning paper, pay with exact change, and leave. He was predictable. In the lonely, chaotic world of the night shift, his routine was one of the few things that felt normal, comforting even, until the night it wasn't. It was a clear, moonless night. No storm, no rain. But when Martin walked in, he was soaked. Not just damp dripping, like he just climbed out of a lake. Water pooled around his boots on the clean floor. He didn't go for the coffee or the newspapers. He walked right up to the counter and just stopped, staring at me. "Martin, you all right?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Rough night?" He didn't answer. He just looked at me, and his eyes were wrong. His pupils were blown wide, just two black holes swallowing the light in the room. There was no recognition in them. None of the quiet, familiar man I saw every night. There was just a void. Without a word, he turned and walked toward the back of the store, to the overflow stock and employee restrooms. I just heard his dripping footsteps fading down the narrow hall. A few minutes went by. The silence felt heavy, charged. "Hey, Martin, you good back there?" I called out. Only the hum of the freezers answered. I grabbed the heavy mag light we kept under the counter and walked toward the back, my unease growing with every step. The hallway was dark. I could hear a faint, rhythmic dripping coming from the far end, from inside the stockroom. I pushed the door open, sweeping the beam of the flashlight into the dark. The beam landed on him. He was crouched in the far corner like an animal, clothes plastered to his skin, head bowed. "Martin," I whispered. His head snapped up. He let out this guttural scream that wasn't human and lunged at me, his hands like claws. "I'm going to kill you," he shrieked, his voice raw and unrecognizable. Pure adrenaline took over and I stumbled back. He swiped at me, his nails tearing through my shirt and scraping my back as I scrambled away. I slammed the stockroom door shut and fumbled with the lock, then sprinted back to the counter and called 911, my whole body shaking. The police arrived and dragged him out. He was still screaming, fighting them with a strength I couldn't believe. It turned out he wasn't just soaked in water. Later, under the harsh lights, I could see the dark, rust-colored stains mixed in. The news came on the TV in the hospital waiting room, while I was getting my back checked out. Martin, my quiet regular, had beaten his wife to death earlier that night. He'd driven straight from his house to my gas station. The police said he was covered in her blood. I worked at that station for another 6 months before I finally had enough. But even on my last day, on damp nights, you could still see the faint outline of wet footprints leading to that stockroom door. And sometimes, when the store was completely empty and silent, you could still hear it, a faint, steady dripping from the back. The night shift is a different world. The veil between what's normal and what's terrifyingly strange gets paper thin out there. If these stories send a chill down your spine, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the edge of darkness. And I want to hear your stories from a gas station, a lonely road, or any place where the night showed its true face. Drop them in the comments below. You never know who's reading. Stay safe out there.
Disturbing true stories untold.